Ramble.
Welcome to another episode of You Can Sit With Us. We are in the podcast room. Ariel's in the back.
I'm in my pregnancy corner.
In the pregnancy corner, we got Rachel. Becky's out today. She had some things she had to do, so it's just us three today, guys.
Yeah. No Bex.
No Bex.
No Bex.
She could have at least left us Alfred.
I know. She needed like a little placeholder. He would have been cute right next to me.
He would have been hiding scared from all of us, but
and all the like technology that's going on in here.
Lots of wires. But there's like a coffee table he could have
climbed
accompanied us
under.
with.
Snaggle.
Or at least Orange, her little stuffed Triceratops. But we miss her dearly today. But we'll be talking about, we haven't really formally introduced you guys to Rachel. Yeah, so we're going to be discussing her role in Try Guys LLC and her role in You Can Sit With Us.
And just in general, just Rachel in general.
Yeah.
Who has lived 1,000 lives.
Yes.
I swear. I feel like every time I talk to you, Rachel, you're like, oh yeah, I did that thing.
Oh,
or
yeah.
like, I have an experience with that.
just because I'm the oldest person in the room.
You are not aren't
Wait, are you older than
I
Rachel?
think I'm
Or older than Ariel?
I think
How
so.
old are you?
I'm 35.
Oh, I'll be 35 in November.
You guys are very
I'm the
similar.
oldest. Older than you by like 6 months.
Wow.
But isn't
Not quite.
Eugene? Eugene is 35.
Eugene is younger than me by like, he's 35 in January. He's younger than me by like 4 months.
Got
6
it.
months isn't that long when it comes to like
No.
Life.
It's true. It's true.
Although I swear, Rachel has lived 1,000 lives.
No, I completely agree.
Like, when you tell me about, I don't know, past jobs and things like that, I'm like, how did you have that job and also this job and also this job? Anywho, we'll talk all about it. There was an earthquake
Oh my gosh.
over the weekend.
On Friday, after
Friday.
we received one of the worst news from.
It was a rough day.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I was actually in bed tucked away, and my sister was actually spending the night with us that night. We had just watched a movie, and I just hear Zach from the other room go, "Earthquake!" And then him and Yvonne are in one room, and I'm in the other, and Bowie's just like going nuts. And I just like, I didn't know what to do, but I've learned just from the many that happened within the span of 2 years just to like put my comforter over my head and like brace.
And snuggle.
And snuggle.
I'm not sure
I
comforter
wasn't
is
near anything. I was
But
like,
you grew up in the LA area.
Yeah.
So did you ever, did you have to do earthquake drills?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was always like right underneath your desk, hold onto like one of the legs.
Yeah.
That
So
whole
what are
thing.
you supposed to do? Do you know?
I think you're just supposed to like brace yourself, go next to a wall or anywhere, not anywhere near glass, preferably. But the one thing that I have learned, don't run.
Don't run.
Do not run.
Yeah. I was always, so I grew up into where I was, we moved away when I was 6. We lived in LA. And so we went through a few earthquakes, and they always said, just drop. Just drop to the floor.
Yeah.
No matter where you are. Even if you're near a window or something like that, just drop to the floor and cover your head. Because if you run or like try to get somewhere, like you're going to be too
Anxious.
confused or like, trying to get somewhere else. And so just wherever you are, just drop
And just protect your head.
and just protect your head.
Yeah.
Well, I ran.
Of course you did. You ran.
I know they say to do the doorways and stuff, but
I
not all
ran.
doorways
No, we
are
were
made.
dead
equally.
asleep, fully asleep, because
Yeah.
it's 11:38 p.m. and we have babies. And I woke up. I didn't wake up and feel an earthquake and decide to run. I woke up while running towards the baby's room.
Oh my gosh, so scary.
So I just like got up and ran towards their room.
This is the first one that something in our house broke.
Us too.
Yeah.
And we've had there were a couple big ones like last summer, but they were in the middle of the day. So we were like awake and like
Right.
yeah.
conscious and present and
Yeah.
able to think it through.
Well, I think this one was the closest too, because it was like near Downey or something, and so that was really close to us
I think
too.
it was San Gabriel, right?
Yeah, close,
Yeah.
super close. And so it was very real and very shaky.
Yeah.
But yeah, just glass shattering and
I know.
Wes slept through the whole thing, but we sort of waited out the earthquake and then ran to his room because so I took a lot of care in his room, making sure that it was toddler proof and earthquake proof.
Smart.
So like
Those
everything
are
is
like
hung
two
up.
sides of the same coin.
Exactly. So everything you can climb on, but also it's not going to fall off the wall if an earthquake happens. Everything is so solid because that child is a tumbler, a climber, and so if you close the door on his room, I feel very safe with him in there.
That's so good.
No, that's definitely gonna help me be more mindful on like what I put up in our house, because Zach for the longest time wouldn't let me put like art pieces above our bed because like the way I wanted to do it was just like nail. He's like, no, you got to do like the command strips and like Velcro it to the
He's
wall.
right. No, you need the museum hooks. They're
Yeah.
like certain little earthquake proof museum hooks. Just Google that.
You think
need
I would have
those.
known by living
I know.
in Southern California for as long as I have, but got to be better.
I mean, yeah, earthquake hooks. That's definitely a good tip. Command strips. I'm not a huge fan of command strips. I think that's just an interior designer thing.
Yeah,
But they're great for rental places.
which we do rent.
I
And,
know,
like,
but a lot
dorm
of people.
life isn't that far away from me either, so I didn't want to like put holes and get in trouble.
I know. Yeah. Okay. Dorm is a little different from renting because in a dorm you're only there for a year and you're only there for a year.
Yeah, true.
So yes, command strips, very appropriate for dorms.
Yeah, but if you're living somewhere permanently, you might as well just.
Yeah, and also it's not that hard to fill holes. This is a like a myth that people don't realize is when you move into your first apartment and you look at that lease and there's all of this stuff that says if you put holes in the wall, blah 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 blah, you have to pay for it. It's a really big deal. It's not, because there's a little something called spackle. And Rachel knows what I'm talking about.
But you have to get
spackle those.
I think the pain in the ass though is trying to find like the right paint color to go over spackle, because your landlord will for sure know if there is something in your lease saying not to put holes in the walls to cover that.
Yeah,
with spackle.
Landlords will paint everything after you move out anyway.
True.
And so I have lived in several rental places where I put holes in the walls.
Oh yeah.
Just like, sorry guys. I put holes in the walls and then I spackle over them and then I just leave it. And the landlord has actually thanked me.
Oh, that's
He's
nice.
He's been like, thank you for putting this spackle here. And I'll, and I'll sand it for him so that there's no holes in the walls. And he's like, this is great. It's like ready to paint. And I'm like, yeah, go for it.
You're welcome.
Do it.
Did it.
Yeah. So this place that we are currently standing in
Has like 1,000 holes in the wall.
1,000 holes in the wall.
for
This
sure.
is still
They're gonna
under.
burn this place to the ground when we leave.
The lease is still in my name.
Is it really? Oh gosh.
I think the landlord's gonna come back and be like, you know what? This place is done. It's not
It is.
suitable.
This place is done.
It
I
is
mean,
done.
we have replaced the air conditioning unit. There's been like 3 bouts of rats.
When we redid we put sconces in and you made over the office, Ned somehow was installing a sconce and wired it to the air conditioner. So when you turned off the lights, the AC unit went off.
Oh,
That's
wow.
ridiculous.
How?
That's just old wiring. That is just old wiring because they had to retrofit the AC to get it to be like a full AC unit. You can always tell that they retrofitted the house to have a new AC unit because the AC vents are in the floors.
Yep.
Yeah,
Didn't know.
because most homes have an area under the floor, like a subfloor, and a lot of these older homes don't have attics. And so you kind of have to have an attic in order to do like all the duct work and everything to do a full install unit on the ceiling. But if you're just retrofitting, you can just put the duct work through the floor.
Yeah. The rats can have it.
The rats, they're going to take over eventually anyway.
They are.
Yeah.
They have. We're not here all that often. I feel like they've moved in.
Oh my god, they're scary. They're probably like a family. Have you guys seen what's that movie? Come on. Ratatouille.
I actually haven't
come
seen
like
it yet.
I
pouring
do
from the
like
ceiling and there's like a family.
the idea that our rats are Ratatouille rats. That
I
makes
do
them
too.
more endearing.
Yeah.
Is
And the
it
fact
kid
that they can
friendly?
cook.
Is it like something I should
Oh
watch
my
with
gosh,
Wes?
yes. Wait, let me try and think. Are there any villains in it? Of course, there's villains in every movie.
We can
course.
always skip through scary stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Like
very
Fun and
I
Scary
highly
stuff.
recommend for Wes.
Okay.
Wes
It's a
would love
rat
it.
that can cook.
That sounds
It's a rat.
awesome.
It's a chef rat.
A chef rat.
Yeah.
We recently watched Wall-E. He loved it. He loved it.
Did
He whenever we talk about Wall-E, he says, "Want hold hands. Want to hold hands."
That's cute.
Because Wall-E wants to hold hands with
Eve.
Eva.
I'm trying to get the girls to hold each other's hands right now. And June will go for it, and Poppy's always like, leave me alone.
Oh,
It'll happen,
really?
though.
I feel like Poppy would be the one that would want to snuggle.
I think Poppy's just like, when they're running around the playground, I'm like, girls, hold hands. I think she's like, I'd rather go see something.
Oh
I'm gonna
my
go do
gosh.
my own thing.
Speaking of like children's movie, I was highly recommended to watch Trolls for like months on end.
Uh-huh.
And I was just
Haven't
like,
seen
yeah, I'll get to it.
Sounds like
Uh-huh.
something Zach is telling you to watch.
Zach saw it and he was trying to get me to watch it because he knew I would like it. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, I know I'm a peds nurse, but I only like to watch like Pixar movies, and like Trolls is not by Pixar. So it's like not my first priority. So
Sure.
whatever. I am so sorry. It was everything I needed. I loved it. Neon colored trolls farting glitter.
Oh my goodness.
I
have not
left
seen
that
it.
movie just so happy, and I immediately watched Trolls World Tour like the
Oh my
following
God.
weekend.
Oh,
I loved it
you
so
loved
much.
it.
I highly recommend you watch the first one
Okay.
and Wes,
Okay.
but
We actually tried to watch it with Wes, but they're like, it was a little bit too scary. Just,
Oh, is it
just the whole
because-
concept of being eaten?
yeah, I think that's just in the beginning.
Okay.
But I would definitely recommend him watch. I don't know. When I recommended it to one of my coworkers and she was texting me, she's like, were you like
High?
drunk or high watching this? Because this is insane. Just like the people, the animators who came up with like the beautiful, I enjoyed it so much. I can't recommend it. I don't want to spoil anything.
You just loved it.
I just loved it. I was just like sitting like on my couch, just like giggling. And I was like, this is so nice. Like, I needed it. It was just like the escape that I needed.
Oh, that
can't
sounds
recommend it.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm in too, but only if you'll come watch it with me.
Oh yeah, I'll come watch it again. It was,
Okay.
and then I recommended it to my mom, and I was like, "Please call me when you're done watching it." And she called me. She's like, "Oh my gosh, Maggie, I loved it." I was like, "Yeah!"
But I have not yet watched The Jinx. I'm sorry.
Ariel,
I'm working on it.
I
it's
know.
5 episodes, and
It's-
the payoff
Is so
big.
good.
It's just I have my shows that I watch with Ned, and then I have my shows that I watch with myself.
Ned should watch The Jinx.
I know, but
Has he
it's-
seen it?
It's so difficult to convince him to watch
No.
something that he doesn't really want to watch.
Yeah,
You know
right.
that
Like Outlander.
no, he actually will watch Outlander with me. I've convinced him. He like finds it kind of interesting because it's like a fantasy, you know. And Ned and I are way into that's like the one genre that we agree on is that sort of fantasy adventure genre. And I feel like Outlander, you know, it sort of slides in there a little bit. It's like historical fantasy adventure. I just love it. You know, the fact that it's like steamy just is like a plus. You get me.
I've never seen it, but I do
You've
think
never
it's like a romance novel.
I've never
my
seen it either. I'm like
gosh.
sitting here just like,
Oh, you too. Okay, this is definitely something that you should watch by yourselves. Okay, did you guys read romance novels like as teenagers or
romance novels. I think the closest thing I got was like the first 50 Shades, and then I had to put that down.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I read
That's-
half of the first 50 Shades. And I was like,
I don't know if that's romance though.
porn.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it is absolutely porn, and I think it is healthy to read porn and to read romance novels. I was way into romance novels in college. Actually, I started a romance novel library. with like just some random friends.
Oh my gosh.
And so what we would do is we would
You would
put
trade them.
we would put romance novels in each other's mailboxes, and then we would
funny.
like nobody would talk about them, but we like knew that we were reading them. Oh, it's just I just love romance novels. They're so just crappy.
Yeah.
Like just terrible writing. But I don't know. You can read them so quickly, and they're just smut. They are just smut. And actually, so instead of, I do not remember having a like sex talk with my parents. Like I specifically don't remember. Yeah. So I don't remember really specifically having a sex talk with my parents, but I do remember when I was like 15, my mom gave me The Clan of the Cave Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys? Oh my gosh! Have you heard of the movie or just anything about it? Oh my goodness. Okay.
This is a genre I have never experienced.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I'm always looking for ways to treat myself, especially now. And I don't want to spend a ton of money doing it. So that's why I love e.l.f. Cosmetics. e.l.f. Cosmetics is all about bringing the best of beauty to every eye, lip, and face. E.L.F. That's what it stands for. I don't know if you knew that. I did not. With e.l.f. Cosmetics, I know I'm going to get high quality premium makeup and skincare products at pretty good prices. Who else in the beauty game is making these iconic products for less than the price of a latte? Whether it's a new formulation, a fun collab, or an of-the-moment trend, there's always something new to check out from e.l.f. So many of their products have become cult classics, garnering thousands of 5-star reviews and a huge online community. Everything is 100% vegan and cruelty-free, and e.l.f. products make the perfect gift. And at these prices, you can put together a full face gift bag, self-care package, or an entire skincare routine without breaking the bank. They are a personal favorite of mine for stocking stuffers. My makeup routine is pretty simple. It's concealer, mascara. That's about it. And e.l.f. is a pretty easy way to just get it done. Right now, as an exclusive offer for you guys, you can get 25% off your e.l.f. purchase of $40 or more. Go to elfcosmetics.com/sitwithus and use promo code SITWITHUS to get this exclusive offer. This is the best deal out there right now, and you won't find it anywhere else. That's promo code SITWITHUS at elfcosmetics.com/sitwithus for 25% off your e.l.f. Cosmetics. Guys,
I remember like sneaking off when my mom would drop me off at like the local like movie bookstore, like Barnes and Noble, like Starbucks. I just hang out in there sometimes and just like go through aisles. And I would like open, when I was like 14, I remember like opening the romance novel book, and it was just like softcore porn. And I'm just like sitting there. My mom's like, what are you doing? And I just like go on to the next aisle. Nothing, just like browsing.
Okay.
Browsing.
So 50 Shades is like the Clan of the Cave Bear of the 2000s.
Okay.
The Clan of the Cave Bear, I couldn't even tell you when it came out. I'll have to look it up. Somebody fact check me. But like it was turned into a movie with who played Hannah? No. Miles, help me out here.
Do you think Miles knows smut?
No. I don't think Miles knows smut, but I think Miles knows the names of actresses.
I'm pretty sure.
Daryl Hannah. There you go.
Sorry.
Oh, okay. She's older. This is old.
It's very old. It was in the 80s.
Wow.
It's from the 80s.
Clan of the Cave
So
Bear.
the movie is from the 80s, but so it's a series of books. It's a series of books called Clan of the Cave Bear. But the first one.
Do you own them?
I used to. We don't really own that many like physical books anymore.
Right.
Especially like paperbacks, you know. We actually own quite a few physical books. Excuse me, I lied. But they're all like, you know, books that look good.
Yes.
Interior design.
Architectural Digest books.
Yes, Architectural Digest books and board books for children. But paperbacks, not so much. And these are like massive, you know, because I had all the Outliner books. I had all the Clan of the Cave Bear books, but they all used to belong to my mom. Because my mom loved this book too, and she passed it on to me.
Generational.
And so I probably read it when I was like 14 or 15. And let me give you just like a brief synopsis.
So your mom didn't have the sex talk with you. She passed over
Some
50 Shades of Grey.
She passed over like the, you know, last century's version of 50 Shades of Grey. Yes. Okay. So the brief synopsis is there is this it's so ridiculous to even talk about. It's so ridiculous to even talk about. All right.
Are you feeling hot and bothered just thinking about it?
I will soon. But okay, so there is this woman. I think her name's like Isla or something like that. And she is, okay, so you know where humans break off from Neanderthals? Okay, she is a human, but she gets split up from her family in like a huge earthquake. And so a Neanderthal family takes her in. And so she grows up in this Neanderthal clan, but she is like this beautiful blonde woman. and
She is Ariel,
and she has to marry this like Neanderthal man, and turns out like her like sexual parts are smaller than theirs, and so she just has this terrible experience with
that sounds
like doesn't sound hot at all.
Wait though. So then she gives birth to a half Neanderthal, half human baby.
How scientific is this?
It's not. It's not. Oh my God. It's not scientific.
It sounds a little like Twilight.
Wait, but so that's only like the first act of the book.
Okay.
But then she so like something happens and she leaves the clan. It's called the Clan of the Cave Bear. Is this clan because she's just so different, and she meets another human. Oh. She meets another human man, and guess what so this guy is kind of he's sort of a out on his own as well. But you're not going to believe why. It's because his penis is so big that like he can't have sex with any women without hurting them. But Isla has now had this experience with a Neanderthal man that she's like they fit perfectly together, and it's like this sexual revelation for both of them that they're like, we're perfect for each other.
Oh my God.
This man has been outed because his dick is too big.
Yes.
She's like, it's not as big as the Neanderthals, so get on over here.
Was this written by a man?
I have I'm pretty sure it was written by a woman. Okay, but that's like that. So that's like the first two acts.
That was your first introduction to like.
I'm really.
Why didn't we talk about the Sex is Awkward podcast?
I feel like I'm giving you guys, like that's the like down and dirty explanation of sort of how the book goes. But there's a lot of tender moments.
Yeah. That wasn't what I expected it to be.
No, well, yeah, I know. But so that's just the first book, and the first book is like 3 inches tall, and it's like this big. There are like 10.
Whoa.
Are they the adventures of Isla and the
like Johnard, or like he has a name that starts with a J. But yeah, so the two of them then get together and they set off to find like more humans. And so it's sort of, then the story of them living together, and like I think they have children, or maybe Isla can't have children anymore.
And then
I can't remember.
Freaky along the way.
And there's trippy stuff where like the Clan of the Cave Bear, like they take there's like mystical things happening, and it's nuts. It's nuts.
Wow.
Mags, do you feel compelled to read it?
It's really
enjoyed
really
Ariel's synopsis. I think that was enough.
It's actually a really good read. Didn't sell it. No, okay, let me try again. No.
You know what? I'm on board with Trolls, but I'm not on board with Cave Bear.
You gotta watch Trolls.
Okay.
I love that we're like putting these. I'm pretty sure I was upset. I found out this weekend that it didn't get as high of a score as I thought on Rotten Tomatoes, and I just I couldn't get. I was so beside myself. I think everyone should watch it, especially now.
Yeah, because it's just so happy.
Yeah. Put your phones away. Turn down the lights. Trolls.
I love that all of this is like sexy now.
Sexy.
Trolls, Cave Bear.
It's quarantine times. Everything is sexy.
Everything is sexy.
Everything is the most unsexy.
All right. If you have time, watch the movie. I don't recommend the movie as much as I recommend the book, because the movie is just kind of strange because there's no language. Like they don't speak, they grunt at each other.
Oh my God. So Daryl Hannah's just grunting her way through this movie?
Yes.
What?
You know, and like,
Wow, the 80s were wild.
but like, she looks great.
Yeah, I mean,
She looks
she's
awesome. There's like face paint and like leather. You know, it's fun. It's fun. It's a romp. And
a grunty romp.
it's a grunty romp. But there's definitely, and then when she meets like, or maybe it seems like Jorah or something like that. But anyway, seriously, like if you're reading and you're looking for a book, just take it back a few decades and go to the Clan of the Cape Bear, because you will not be disappointed. I promise. There is so much that happens in this book, and it's Outlander level smut. You know, it's like pretty graphic, sexual
Grunting.
No, that was the grunting doesn't really come across in the book as much as it comes across in the movie. Gotcha. I feel like I should stop talking because like
this has been so insightful into who you are, Ariel. Clan of the Cape Bear is a sexual awakening.
You know, I'm not gonna be embarrassed about it. It was. I'm not sure how or why. Because now looking back on it, it is a very strange book. Yeah.
Oh.
Anywho, Rachel, let's talk about you.
How do we pivot?
We can't. I know. Oh my god. Oh my god. I mean, I feel like this is a very important topic for Maggie and I to talk about because Zach and Ned are in the same fantasy football league. I last year was asked to be on Hannah Hart's fantasy football league, and I had to politely decline.
I've been asked
it's like
to be
an
in a
all-women's
fantasy
league.
football league. I think it was one of Zach's friends. They're like, "Oh, does Maggie want to be a part of our?" And I had to politely decline.
Yeah.
Not interested. I would
you.
also politely decline. But
one of my really close girlfriends is really into it and like is really good.
Wow.
But it's just
good for her.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever watched The League? It's like a.
I've watched Friday Night Lights.
I've heard of the dating app.
I get where you're going with that. I appreciate where you're going with that. Yes, Friday Night Lights is great.
It's so good.
It's so good.
That's my kind of football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. Ned actually did a monologue when we were living in Chicago. He did all of Friday Night Lights in 60 seconds.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It was pretty
funny.
hilarious. I'm sure you can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
It's on one of his like reels. But anyway, football season started 2 weeks ago. And Maggie, how are you faring?
Zach's been a part of 2 fantasy football drafts that were all like 2 hours on 2 separate weekends.
Only 2 hours?
Yes. And we have this unspoken rule that like just like right in the morning when we're both like waking up, setting intentions for the day. Like I don't like to hear fantasy football, white noise or podcasts. Cause like a lot of the times he has Sirius in his Prius and he'll turn it on and it'll just be like fantasy football. And I'll fall asleep on long car rides and I'll just wake up to it and I'll be like, turn it off. I feel like the sound of football, white noise, plus fantasy football podcasts and radio shows just haunt my dreams.
Thank you.
This Sunday though, he woke up and he usually will wake me up and bring Bowie into the room. He snuck out of the bedroom and went into the living room
out.
so he could have, I mean,
Who
I understand.
does that?
I understand because he wanted to listen to fantasy football on loud.
On loud without Maggie saying to turn it down.
To turn it down. Because like, when I want to listen to my things, I'll put my podcast or my earbuddies in.
Yeah.
But yeah, he snuck out.
He snuck out. So he didn't say good morning.
No, he didn't say it. He usually like wakes me up with music. He'll usually be dancing to some sort of whatever, which is always so fun. But this Sunday morning,
you to sleep
he tiptoed out and he's like, "Oh, you looked tired." I was like, "Sure." So luckily, football season is not as long as baseball season, and Zach does not participate in fantasy. I think fantasy baseball thing is a thing.
I have absolutely no idea.
I don't know.
Seems so long, but
Oh, I couldn't even imagine. And basketball too?
Yeah. I'm
Anyway.
glad. Oh,
I mean, I like sports. I enjoy watching sports. I enjoy like partaking in sports.
Yeah.
But there is a level to which you have to pay attention in
fantasy.
in to football if you are seriously playing fantasy football.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like this year for some reason Ned is just like way more into it than
I mean,
Quarantine hobbies.
Quarantine, yeah.
I think it's quarantine.
And he has more
hobbies.
time to listen to like the theory behind
my
and like
goodness.
what's happening in the league. Yeah, it's like a whole can of worms. When I was, not to poo-poo on sports at all, but when I was first dating Zach, I didn't know that he was such a football head. He really is. He is. You know, Becky, times are really hard right now. Getting together with friends, being socially distanced, it's definitely taxing on all of us.
Yeah, and it's hard to support our local small businesses when you feel like you can't go into a local small business.
So what we need more than ever is an easy way to support each other from afar.
With the PayPal app, sending and receiving money is faster or easier. You can stay connected with people you love. You could start a money pool to split the bill, go in on a gift, fundraise for a good cause.
You can stay connected with people you love and quickly and securely send money to friends and family just about anywhere in the world. I use PayPal for everything. I forget my credit card almost exclusively on all my orders, and I don't like to like manually input it into everywhere. So PayPal, you log in, it's already all saved for you there. You just memorize your password, and there you go.
PayPal is making it easy to pay safely, quickly, and easily. Download the PayPal app today. Terms and conditions apply.
Yeah, Zach's pretty into it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that was something that really connected Zach and Ned from the beginning, was that they could talk about football.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's not something that I grew up with. My dad was never really into football or like, you know, crazy sports fanatic or anything like that.
Yeah.
I remember the first Thanksgiving that we spent together. We were at my parents' house, and so my family, we do this thing where we wake up, you know, slowly, of course. It is a holiday after all. And we start drinking at like 10 a.m. We start drinking champagne or, you know, whatever else. And we make our dough gobs, which is basically like sweet monkey bread. And then we start cooking the turkey, because of course the turkey has to, you know, it takes like 5 hours or whatever, because we always make it a turkey that's way bigger than what we actually need, because my dad is a huge turkey sandwich fanatic. And so, you know, it's like, you know, turkey sandwiches for days after that. But so we start really early, and I think it got to be about 1 p.m. and Ned's like, so are we going to turn on football? And we're like, sorry, what? Why would we do that?
It's Thanksgiving.
Who did you invite? Football? What? And so Ned like disappeared into the other room and just was watching football while the rest of us were cooking and drinking. Oh my God. And we were like, what is he doing?
Who is this man?
Who is this person? But then we spent Thanksgiving with his family, and there was very little cooking and quite a bit of football watching. So now I can see why it was different. Yeah. But those podcasts, those fantasy footballers podcasts, they must make one every day, because I feel like Ned is listening to them
all
the time.
He's set to win. Whatever that
and
bucket of prize money that he gets at the end is that, yeah.
And
Didn't they come close last year? One of them, Zach or Ned?
I don't know. I think Zach maybe have come close, but
my sweet, sweet husband, I love him so much, so much. And he spends so much time on his fantasy team, like planning for the draft, like planning his roster every week. And he has never won.
Oh,
he has never won. I hope this year is his year, but I don't think it's statistically possible for the amount of time that he has been playing fantasy football.
Oh my God,
to never have won. Like there must.
Has he gone close? Like second?
He does get close.
Okay.
He gets close. Like pretty much. Well, it may just be the way that he talks about it. He's like, I think I'm gonna make it this year. I think I'm gonna make it.
He's
I'm
very
like, good for you,
optimistic.
honey. You got this. Oh man.
Oh my God.
What about Zach? Has he ever won?
I think so. I'm so bad. I don't know. I know he's come close. I know he gives me like the week by week on like how he's doing, and I'm like, yay, good for you. But I have no idea what's going on.
You say yay no matter what he says. He's like, I'm not doing great this week. You're like, oh yay, honey.
I think he came close last year, if I remember correctly. But
one of them did, I recall.
Yeah, I don't remember
Maybe
who.
it was Zach.
And there's like different kinds of leagues where I think he was a part of one where you have to just pick one team that won't lose that weekend. And that's different from fantasy.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, fantasy football takes too much a part of my life. So let's talk about something.
else. Fair enough.
So we've been getting a lot of email questions about Rachel, and we have realized how rude of us that we haven't actually addressed who she is and what she means to us. So she is the heart of the podcast. She works so hard with us to come up with exciting things and move conversations along, but she is also one of the lead producers of Try Guys LLC. So we wanted to formally introduce you guys to her and talk about her background and how she ended up working with us, because she is a phenomenal part of the team.
And just a phenomenal person too. I mean, Rachel is our best friend, our mom, our everything.
Yes.
All right. Now to Rachel.
Well, when we started the podcast, I was just sitting over here, just chit-chatting and adding in stuff and hanging out because I was like your target audience, right? You are my people. And then one of you, I think Ariel, was like, well, why don't you just mic her? So I was like, yeah, sure. I'll come sit with you.
Yeah.
So, and here we are.
Come sit with us.
So the producers of the podcast are Miles, which everyone knows, and myself for some creative producing. And then we have the ladies who are the hosts. But yeah, how I met the guys. I made a commercial with Ned and Ariel in 2017.
Oh, wow. That was 3
a long time
Yeah,
ago.
I made 3 commercials with them before, when Ariel was about halfway through her pregnancy with Wes.
It was when we were still at BuzzFeed.
We were still at BuzzFeed. And I loved you guys. We had such a good time.
I felt similarly.
The same thing. And I think we felt very like akin. We were doing the same sort of things in life. We realized we'd both bought houses within a few months of each other. We had the same realtor. We were living in neighboring neighborhoods.
Yeah.
We both owned doodles. We were just clearly destined to be friends. And then when the guys left BuzzFeed, they called me and asked me to come interview to, start this company. Actually, they just asked me to produce 24 videos over the course of 8 weeks or something. They didn't say start a company, hire a bunch of people, we'll staff everyone and go from there. Because I think I would have been I don't know how to do that.
I don't know, you guys. That seems
seems like a lot.
More work than maybe one person can do.
Yes. That seems like too much. But they just asked me to make a slate of videos, which that I can do. And so I came and interviewed here. And actually the first time I met the guys, so Ned and I knew each other. I saw them at Ned and Ariel's baby shower. So the first time, and the only one I noticed was Keith.
Of course.
Because
the
Keith
ring baby.
was the diaper baby. The ring baby.
He was naked with an adult-sized diaper on.
That's the first time I met Keith. And
I'm so sad we are not bringing the ring baby back, but we should.
I know.
If we do a Zoom something, the ring baby has to come.
Agreed.
Or if you have a third.
So Keith I saw him in a diaper, and then I came and interviewed with the guys, and I was sitting at your dining room table with them.
Wait, that transition was hilarious.
I know.
I saw Keith in a diaper, and it wasn't weird, so then I decided to take a job with them.
I came to interview.
It was cool.
Eugene was sitting there, Ned was sitting there, Keith was sitting there, and Zach was sitting there with a bloody towel to his mouth. He had just come from the dentist and had some sort of extraction done. And I was so distracted. I was like, are you okay?
I don't remember
he's
that.
Just giving me sitting and chatting, and we're having an interview as if it's totally normal. And I was like,
oh, this was your interview.
This
I
was
thought
my
you meant
interview.
at the baby shower. I was like, wait, what?
no, I didn't notice Zach at the baby shower because he was not naked from the waist down.
Got it.
So I didn't recall
Or the waist
who
up.
he was. Or the waist up. Or Eugene. Both fully clothed. Didn't notice them.
Not memorable. Got it.
Got it. Only Keith was super memorable. But Zach was bleeding. I just kept thinking this man should be at home. What is he doing here?
Typical Zach.
You know, got to start that company.
Starting a company.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then I decided to work with them. You had Wes like a day later.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought this thing's going to the ground. They just had a baby.
Yeah,
it's not
Ned
happening.
just turned off for 6 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, and Eugene got cast in a movie. So it was just Keith, Zach, and I. And we were just meeting at various people's homes. We were like me at Keith's house, then Zach's house, then Keith's house, then Zach's house. And I just thought, this isn't happening.
I actually haven't heard that many stories from that period of time.
Oh, yeah, because you were out.
I was otherwise occupied.
Yes.
But I remember something from one of their video from their like we started a company video where they were working from our old dining room table.
Yeah.
But so you were going back and forth to like their places, just trying to keep things afloat.
In the first couple weeks, we were just meeting at people's houses because you guys were still here. You had not totally moved in over there. Our video equipment was here, but you were also here. And I would like come pick up a camera and Wes would be in like the little up-a-baby bassinet with your mom or something.
Because we didn't have anything else.
You didn't have like a nursery. Yeah.
Aww.
So he was just in the stroller bassinet. And he'd be asleep and we'd like take a couple pieces of equipment and sneak out. And it was chaos. That's why I was like, this isn't happening. But it did.
It did.
I expected them all to call it quits and be like, it's too much, it's too hard. But they didn't. They persevered.
With your help too?
With my help.
And organization.
I was employee 1. Or 5 if you count them as employees.
Wow.
Which
Rachel.
is so fun. I know.
Honorary try guy.
I know. Well, seriously. I mean, at this point.
And then I knew Ariel, but I didn't meet you guys. I think I met Becky when we were just like working at Keith's house, like in passing, but we were working, so we just said hi. But I don't think I met you until
the first time I met you, I think you guys were having a meeting and I like awkwardly I remember
you came to get Bowie to walk him or something.
Yes. And and then I remember, Zach, this is our producer, Rachel. I was like, hi, Rachel. Nice to meet you. And I just remember sitting and like watching you guys like have a meeting. And I was just like in the corner, just like smiling like a creeper.
The cutest
in the
creeper.
way.
But the first time we all hung out, I'll never forget it, was VidCon. And I was there to help the boys. I was running like light sound, like I was running the board for their show and helping them put that together, which was overly ambitious.
I was going to
it's
say,
a lot.
I don't recall you doing that anytime after that. No. So is that something that you
in your skill set?
No, they were like, oh yeah, so someone who knows the show has to like call all the music cues, sound cues, light cues.
And you're the only person.
Can you sit in the board and do it? And I had marked it out, and Eugene and I went over it that morning, and there was something like 286 cues that I live called the show with a full team on the board on the headsets.
So how did you learn how to do that? Did you YouTube?
I just
on
or
the
like
job
read?
Just on the job. We had one tech rehearsal and then we did it.
See, this is what I love about Rachel.
Yeah.
Like, and then as we've gotten to know you, I feel like I've just gotten to know all of these times that you have done this sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where
Rachel
you're just
is like
I sort of fell into this at one point, and then I got really good at this, and then I don't know. I was a nanny in New York for a while. Like I was bemoaning like when Wes was really little. I was like, I don't know what to do about childcare. Like I don't know what to do with the child. And Rachel's like, oh yeah, I was a nanny. I can help you out. Like what do you want to know?
Yeah.
Every time Rachel's
things.
like, I got you.
Yeah.
You. Well, when it comes to babies, I got you.
Yeah, you do. You were also an elementary school teacher?
I taught kindergarten and second grade. Only second grade for a year.
Did you know
I
that?
wanted the little
I did know
ones.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. all
Rachel's
girls.
like a little onion, according to Shrek. She has
know.
very many layers.
Many, many layers.
Yeah.
Those long 35 years. You
Oh
know?
my gosh, no, but having like a complete career change from
Right.
kindergarten teaching to producing, that's like, whoa.
Well,
Yeah.
what happened there?
It's a very juicy story. I've debated whether I don't tell people very often. but
Well,
maybe
yeah,
I'll
I'm
tell it.
asking because I don't know it.
So I taught.
You don't have to tell it if you don't want to, but I'm desperate.
I
You can
will.
tell me. You can tell me other. Okay.
No, I'll tell. Because it's not public knowledge. But I was a teacher in New York, and I taught at a really fancy all-girls private school. Very academically prestigious, loved it. And my college boyfriend, who I'd been dating for 7 years at that point, decided to go to graduate school in Seattle, so I moved with him. And I came after schools had started. I didn't have my teaching license in Washington State. And so I just didn't know what I was going to do. And one of my parents of one of my kids was Tina Fey, who I was close with.
No big deal.
I have heard that part of the story.
And she, when I moved out west, she goes, well, do you want to work on a show out there? I could get you on a show. How about Portlandia? And I said, no, that's not in Seattle. And so I moved to Seattle, and I was working actually for a company back in Brooklyn. I was writing science nonfiction for preschoolers for a learning app started by a former mom of mine and Caroline Kennedy.
Wow.
So that is what I was doing. And I couldn't make any friends in Seattle because I was like flying to Brooklyn to like work on this app and coming back, and I just wasn't invested. So finally I was like, okay, I'm lonely and I'm sad. And I called Tina. I was like, yes, I want to work on Portlandia. Put me in.
Oh my gosh.
Put me in, coach.
Put me in. And so she got me a job PAing on Portlandia.
That is insane.
Yeah. And
Like,
so I moved
what
to
a
Portland that summer.
Like, how long did it take from you going from a PA to being a producer? Oh my God, my stomach, sorry. How long did it take you? How long did it take you to pivot from being a PA and like kind of climb the ladder there?
Super long. So I PA'd half a season when there was a whole shift change on the crew in Portland because the AD left and a bunch of people shifted up. So the second half of the season, I was the director's assistant. And so then when I came back, the next season, actually, I moved to LA that winter to work on post with the director and a small post team. And then I followed him to commercials, pilots, and another show. And when I came back, I was like a writer's assistant, director's assistant with him. And then he went to do a show in Canada. So I came back to LA and I worked as a director's assistant for another person at a commercial production company. Actually, Zach and I overlapped by one day, we think, on a job I did with the same director, the director of Portlandia. And at this commercial production company, they were starting a VR department, brand new. No one knew anything about virtual reality. And they just gave me a budget and said, go produce this VR piece, this narrative piece. So I
do
did.
VR too?
Yes, I produced early days VR.
Wow.
So I did. They literally handed me like $35,000 in cash that I kept in this little thing, which was nothing to them. And they were like, go make this.
Like a lunchbox.
Yeah, I had like a little zippered thing. I had like so much cash in there. I put it in my backpack. I never took it off.
That's mind-boggling. Like, did you have mentors at the time, or it was kind of just learn as you go?
You know, I had this one producer who I really liked, who I was like, can you send me a budget I can copy? And he was like, yes, I'll send you like an editable budget. And he sat down with me for like a couple hours one day and went through and sort of showed me some tips and tricks. But the first budget I turned in for that PR piece to the like overall company production manager, which like a month or two after it was done, I turned in my wrap budget and he was like, oh girl, you spent more than this because you did not account for this, this, and this, which I had paid on time cards but not accounted for because I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh no.
But he was like, it's okay. It was such chump change to this giant company that like they didn't care. But from then on, I was just producing.
Wow.
You know? I took that one.
So
I
that
quit
was a
being
span
a director's
of
assistant.
3 years? 5 years?
2.5.
That's
Yeah,
LA.
that's fast.
Baby.
That's LA, baby.
Wow.
You know, I moved here. Because we did Portlandia, commercials, pilot, Portlandia, all within a calendar year. And then I was the director's assistant. So yeah, just under 2. And I only did 2 commercials with him as his assistant before I started producing the VR pieces.
Wow.
And then I was just producing from then on out.
So you led this fancy life in New York and
So
Portland
fancy.
and in LA. I do not know how we snagged you. Seriously, you are now in the rat house.
House. But you know what? If the guys had said, during that interview they had said, come run this company, figure out, you know, how to get people health insurance and 401ks and hire a full staff, I would have been like, no, I don't, that's not what I do. But they just eked me in, and I'm doing like, I think it's a dream job.
It's pretty fun.
Even dreamier now that I have a co-producer, Nick, who's here too, because it's a big job. But it's really great. And I just hope that like the guys and I will do more and more things that are like outside of our comfort zone and our wheelhouse. We have the channel, it's running, but like podcasts, you know, maybe some other, we're making a documentary right now. It's almost locked. It's nearly there.
I know.
I've hired a finishing house. We're almost done.
We watched it last night.
You know, like I'm getting to do things that I didn't dream that I would get to do.
Yeah, because working on film sets, I'm sure, is very different.
Very different. And I do feel invigorated when we do these bigger shoots because
right,
that goes back to like...
You get the best of both worlds where...
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's really cool. I think it's pretty limitless where we can go.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, you're your family now.
Yeah, it's true. I would never, you know,
I know.
These are my people now.
I know.
These are my guys.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's how I went from PAing to producing.
Yeah.
I don't tell a lot of people the Tina Fey story.
Yeah. I can understand why.
Close.
I can understand why.
Yes.
Do you still have Tina Fey's number in your phone book?
Yes, sometimes we still chat.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love her. And I love her kids. So there are like a handful of kids who I still keep up with because like those were my kids. You know?
Yeah, I know.
I was their first teacher. So I feel like it's different when you're a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, yeah.
And they're now all like graduating middle school.
Oh my gosh, they're teenagers.
Yes. I still remember my first kindergarten, well, my only kindergarten teacher, but
doesn't she hold a special place in your heart?
Yes, I do.
I had Montessori kindergarten. So we had like 4 teachers.
Whoa.
And I don't remember one particularly.
Really?
Yeah. I also have a terrible memory of like childhood.
Yeah.
And not because I had a terrible childhood.
That sounded like you had a bad time.
No. It is completely the opposite. I had such a wonderful, normal childhood. I don't remember anything like standing out. Like my sister has a great memory, and she remembers like, you know, feelings that she had when she was like an infant.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And you know, now that I have had an infant, I'm like, oh, you know, he's probably, you know, getting these feelings and remembering like the feelings that he had being snuggled and all that kind of stuff. But I just as a child, I don't have any like, I just can't remember those really just out big memories. I don't know. It's more of a like just a general feeling. Like I have a we used to live in Long Beach. And,
really?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's where that's like down where I was born because my dad was working at a refinery down there.
I always think of you as Texas.
Yeah.
We moved there when I was 6. Yeah. So 6 to 15, I was in Texas. But from 1 to 6, I was here in.
I realized
LA.
I thought that when you came here, it was with Ned, and that was it.
No. My parents moved down here, and I was born here. Yeah.
You're a California girl.
I am,
even though you were.
And
Texas.
my mom has brown eyes, and my dad has blue eyes, and my grandmother always jokes that if so, both of my parents are from Washington State. And so my grandmother always jokes that if I had been born in Washington State, that I would have brown eyes, brown hair. But because I was born in LA, because I was a California baby, both Danielle and I were California babies, and we both have blue eyes, blonde hair. It's fascinating.
It's just in the water.
Yeah.
It is in the water.
Well, explain me.
Maggie, you're Peruvian. I don't think there was any chance in the world
For you to be a blondie.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah.
I've tried colored contacts. It doesn't quite translate as well on me. I look like an alligator.
Beautiful eyes.
I've seen your colored contacts.
We've all like when we were 14, like went to downtown LA and bought colored contacts
Oh my
just to
God,
see what it would
so
look
naughty.
like. Yeah, I look like an alligator, and they would like fold. Yeah.
What's that like? I've never used colored contacts. I've actually never used contacts.
Do you see normal?
You see normal, and I wore glasses at the time. I still wear glasses now, but I wear contacts. But
Are they prescription?
they're not prescription, and I actually got a corneal ulcer.
I was gonna say, like you bought them just from like a
contacts.
street vendor or
Yeah.
something? Oh boy.
I mean, if you take care of them, they should not give you a corneal ulcer. But I was a very not smart person when it came to colored contacts. I like remember like napping in them once. And basically, you're supposed to wash your hands before you put your contacts in and like use contact solution. I don't know what I was doing. I think that like they would dry out a lot because they just weren't made
a lot.
No, I think that this was just like one instance where I like went through a little like phase where I wanted to wear them, and
Were they like an accessory?
They were like a thing.
I'll wear these earrings and I'll wear these contacts today.
So, and I remember sounds terrible because like I work in the health.
Now you at 14 you didn't.
Okay, at 14 I didn't, and I remember just being in class once and my contact was drying out and I put it in my mouth and I just like moistened it. And then I put it back in my eye.
No.
Yes.
That's not sanitary.
So bad. I am not like that anymore. But like I think a day later, I remember looking at the smart board and my eyes, like they were very sensitive to light. And I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like it kind of hurts to look at the board. Like I'm going to tell my mom. So my mom takes me to the optometrist and the optometrist looks at my light underneath the microscope and is like, oh my God, we have to refer you to an ophthalmologist. There's something there. I got a corneal ulcer from a bacteria.
So what happened?
A bacteria like ate through my cornea. Luckily, it wasn't on the iris, but it's still like
Could you
very
have lost your sight?
Yes, if it had been on my iris or my pupil, I would have lost vision
from putting your contact in your mouth
or just not being super careful.
I mean, the mouth didn't help.
No, my mouth did not help. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Use
you
contacts.
Lost your vision.
I could have lost my colored contacts and wanted to have blue eyes. Yeah. Wow. So stupid. I hate my 14-year-old self.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
what a permanent
luckily I just like used antibiotic drops and it went away. But even when I go to the optometrist now, I always ask, can you see my ulcer or like the scar from my ulcer? And you can still see it from underneath the microscope. But I remember just looking into the mirror that day when I was having light sensitivity and I just saw like a gray fleck. So that's a lesson to you.
And that's what an ulcer
Be careful.
looks like in your eye is just a little.
I mean, sometimes they're not even visible by eye, but like they're that small where it just like it's like eating away at your cornea.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's like scary.
Thank goodness.
I know. So don't
do that.
Don't do that. Wash your hands.
Be
careful. Yeah, middle schoolers, almost high schoolers. So stupid.
Oh my God.
So stupid.
All right, we are getting to the end of this episode. We have so much more to talk about with Rachel. We will peel back all the layers of this onion.
We'll get there.
We will get there. We were planning on talking about your reality TV experience, which I recently learned about. I just feel like every time I talk to Rachel, there is something else that she tells me that I'm like, where did that come from? So that'll happen. I'm sure we'll figure that out. Yeah. So wait for those layers of onion. I certainly can't wait because I feel like there's just going to be so much more juicy bits.
I'll try and come up with something.
Okay. Thank you everybody for listening and rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. And comment in the comment section what else you want to hear about. What do you want us to talk about? Clearly, I will not be talking about Clan of the Cape Bear again because that did not go over well. Yeah, it's been a while since anywho, peace out, guys. We'll talk to you later.